Welcome everybody to the Room250 podcast.
One tiny pixel at a time.
We all have a room 250. It's that room where creativity happens.
Welcome back everybody to the Room250 podcast, where creatives sit down, have a conversation, and hopefully inspire current and future designers to crush their creative goals one pixel at a time. I'm one of three hosts, Arturo P. Peralta. I'm joined by my two best friends, Martin Edelsoy Bautista and David Patrick Sly. And tonight we have the very talented, one of our special guests, we have very talented, very creative, Richard Durstie. What's up, brother?
Yo, thanks for having me.
What's up, man?
That's it, right? I pronounced it right?
Dristy, yeah, it's all good.
Dristy, okay.
Dristy,
My apologies. But hey, man, welcome to the podcast. So happy to have you here. I know we were just shooting the shit right before we hit start. But before we dive into it, Sly?
Yeah, don't forget, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. When you're on YouTube, subscribe to us, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. If you're on Spotify, please give us a listen on there. And if you finish it all the way through, please give us 5 stars. It really helps the algorithm. And drop some comments down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you want to see.
Did you say algorithm?
Algorithm?
The algorithm.
I got rhythm.
The algorithm. Yeah, the algorithm, bro. And for those of you that are new to Room 250 and don't know what Room 250 is about or what it represents, Room 250 was a room back in college where all the creatives went and did their work. It's where the magic happened. We all have a Room 250. It's that place that you go to and get away from the noise, and it's where creativity happens.
Boom.
Yeah, that's what Room 250 is.
But before we get started, as we always do, how we start the episode, what's everybody drinking?
Ooh.
For me, I'll kick
Richard,
it off.
would you like to go for? Oh, okay. Pete?
Oh, okay, yeah. Richard, do you?
Yeah, Richard,
Richard,
go.
would you
What you got? Show us the goods, bro.
Water.
Perfect.
It's
Nothing
alright.
wrong with that.
I got some water right here on me. There you
Yeah,
go. Some water.
Do you have a nickname, or do you prefer Richard?
Like a lot of people call me by my last name, Dristy, but
Okay,
yeah,
Dristy.
Richard or
Dristy.
Interesting.
I feel that. Everybody calls me
I like
Sly,
that.
so
Sly.
same.
Yeah, you have a dope last name, dude. You and Sly are like
Thanks,
these are
man.
dope last names. Yeah.
Yeah, Pete's not my real name. It's just easier to pronounce. So I usually just go by that. But
I just made that name up.
Actually, it was given to me. But to kick my back, like I said, for Christmas, I got the beers around the world. So I've been slowly dipping into that. So tonight, I don't even know how to say this brand right here, but this is the one.
In stock.
Is that how it is?
That's dope.
In
I
stock.
don't
That's
know,
cool.
I just made it
Yeah.
up.
Winter ale. Oh, there
Oh,
goes some
nice.
shit.
Nice.
Nice,
Follow.
nice
Oh,
cool, bright,
yeah.
creative can, big logo, just nice. So we'll see how
cool.
this one.
You get any of you guys do like can design or anything like that?
Yeah, Pete has worked on some.
Pete has.
Cool.
Dabbled in it. Nothing too crazy.
Ooh,
Yeah, not
that's
the,
very, almost kind of like a Sam Adams, but more richer. Yeah, that's pretty
Nice.
Richard.
I was gonna say.
Drum roll.
That's clean. Yeah, kind of like a Oktoberfest ish.
Nice.
Okay, but
Awesome.
better.
What you got, Sly? Show us what you got, Sly.
All right, it's called Relentless Chaos. It's a marshmallow vanilla imperial stout. So this one's
Nice.
Well, that's pretty
from
cool.
New Glory. Yeah,
That's dope.
That's
think it's
it's
cool.
a label, right? It's a label on the can.
yeah. It's a sticker label on the can.
Sticker label. Yeah.
It's trying to find me.
Nice.
Camera's trying
Cool
to find
logo. It's pretty sweet.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I like
dope.
that-
So we'll
that
see.
Font.
All right, do it. Oh, nice.
The artwork is like trippy, like you're on ecstasy or something.
Mhm.
I've been told. I never.
Was it-
I saw it and thought of like a universe. You know, like
Yeah,
all the new
that's what I
images we're
thought so
getting from.
too.
That's the taste.
This is
So-
really dark. Really good.
Dark.
It's really dark. You can taste the vanilla. I'm not getting the marshmallow yet, but it's good. I would probably have maybe like 1 or 2 of these. 2 at max.
Yeah,
This is 10.2.
Oh wow, yeah, you
10.2
definitely
out.
only have
Yeah.
two.
Oh,
So
damn,
definitely
bro.
1 or 2.
You're going to get hammered tonight? Shit. Is it thick, Sly? Is it thick?
It's very thick. I don't look at the percentage before I buy it, so I just buy it and
Just
roll
roll
with
with
it's
it.
high
it.
alcohol. It's high alcohol. Yeah.
Cool.
Martin.
Martin,
Well,
what you got?
I got drawn because I love Day of the Dead, and Victoria I'm sure you guys have had this
Oh yeah,
before.
they're serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Super dope. And all the
Yeah.
cans have like, not all of them, but it's like 4 different designs in the cans. So I'm like, yeah, this is dope. And Victoria's light beer, I'm gonna say, not like Corona, but that kind of beer where you can just drink a few of them and you're good.
Pacifico. It's more like a Pacifico.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Did you notice how
Summer night kind of beer.
Did you notice how Martin was covering the neck instead of the back of the label?
Yeah, he's like, just
No,
here.
bro, I always fuck up with that shit.
And you got to put it in front of your face.
That's what I did. I was like this, bro. But I'm trying to look at it right here. That's what I'm like. So what? I'm supposed to go like this? Like, see? I see it like that.
No, just get it out of the way.
Oh, shit, it's
We're
dope.
What kind of water are you drinking, Richard? Dristy?
Out of the fridge water.
Fridge water?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not a heavy drinker. I mean, like, I would say I'm on a health kick right now, but I'm
Nice.
I'm a Diet Coke guy for the most part. So
Ooh,
slamming
nice.
the Diet
Okay.
Cokes. Yeah.
With ice or just straight from the can?
Just can, for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Dude,
I
shots
don't like
of
like
Diet Coke all
ruining
day.
the fizz, Like I gotta keep that the carbonation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carbonated water for me does a trick on that because I mean I love Coke and a Mountain Dew and Sprite, but I'm like that's just the beer isn't any much better. But
Yeah.
so
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
to me, if I'm gonna do
Yeah.
one of those, I'm gonna do a beer. I'm just a beer guy. But again,
I'm originally a Coke guy, but yeah, the calories for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Well, cheers, gentlemen. Let's have a great
Cheers.
episode.
Salud.
Boom.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Well, again, Dristy.
Yeah.
Dristy.
Yep, you got it.
Thanks again for coming on. I've been following your work for a little bit, and I just love like the textures and typography that you use, the colors. I've seen that you worked with a variety of different brands. So super pumped when you were just one reply to us, and then second, like you're like, yeah, I'll jump on. So thank you again for coming on here. Before we dive into like all the questions, one thing that we like to kick off the show with is if you were to take your skill set and knowledge of everything that you acquired so far, the years that you've done design, and you turn that into a fictional character, what character would you be?
Oh.
And it has to be related to like my
No, just
work related.
yeah, just
No, whatever.
Design,
What comes to
design
your
level.
mind for you?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
for
like
you,
your
bro.
design
It could
level,
be anything.
your skill set of where you're at
Okay.
now. Like,
I mean, just by I don't like my go-to is Batman, so that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, competition, Pete.
oh yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I got this.
the-
Got this guy right here, this little Batman guy that I look
Oh,
at.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Can you show that again? Can we see it?
Yeah. Yes. Little guy. Got the little skeleton.
that's
in there
cool.
and stuff.
nice.
So
That's
We
dope.
went to
dude, that is
DesignerCon
really sick.
a few weeks ago, and I picked this guy up.
oh sweet. Yeah, I've been to DesignerCon once.
Nice.
It's pretty cool convention.
Yeah, no. For
Did you
sure.
come out to Vegas for it?
I went when it was in Anaheim. So this was
Anaheim,
maybe
okay.
a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was
Awesome.
it? How was it this year? Pretty odd. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
sure.
pretty sick.
Yeah, definitely different and bigger since last year, but it was still pretty cool. They had these weird like standing cats. I don't know what vendor was selling it, and it was like $25. But I'm like,
Oh, the
I don't know the
cats.
point.
Yeah.
I don't know the point of it, but it just cracked me up because it was just like this standing cat with.
I
scales
remember
on
them.
it. And I'm like, what do you do with that? Like, why do people were just buying it left and right? So
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
a
I don't
centerpiece, bro.
understand,
It's a
but-
talking piece.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's dive right into it. I mean, tell us how you started in design. Like, what got you into it? Like, how did the journey of the Dristy start?
Yeah, I didn't originally know I wanted to like be a designer. I think I didn't even know it was like a job. So I was like out of high school, I was like packing boxes and like shipping stuff, and that company that I worked for like produced like educational stuff for training companies and whatnot. So they produced workbooks, and so I would print them and pack them and stuff like that. But then they had like a production team. So it's, not
Okay.
quite design, more of this production side. And then I was able to like start helping out in that department and learned InDesign. And then I was like, found out that like graphic design was a job, and I was like, that's pretty dope.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
like, I like drawing.
dope.
So I'm like, that's a cool gig. I just didn't think I didn't know much about graphic design, and then I didn't know like you can have like a cool graphic design job. I'm sure there's like a lot of corporate stuff that is cool, but not my favorite thing. So I kind of just did that for a while, and then like worked my way one job to the next. Worked in marketing, worked in more like product related stuff. What else, like branding. So between jumping job to job and to this point. But did you want me to go through like each job? It's like how detailed you want me to get?
I mean, again, this episode's about you. We're learning your design story. I mean, is this you started with partners in leadership as a creative services associate?
So that was like they were definitely like a management training company. So I mean, I didn't do any training stuff, but it was like they produced educational material for their like workshops and whatnot. So we had to print all that stuff in-house. So it was cool to learn like little, basic printing stuff, then working in production. So I learned InDesign first, like before Illustrator or anything. But yeah, that definitely helped. Like knowing InDesign kind of like played, throughout the rest of my career. So after that place, I went to a small ad agency, worked primarily on like marketing stuff for like trade shows and, so backdrops, banners, and print collateral, stuff like that. I did that. I don't know how long I did that, a couple of years. So this was all when I'm originally I was born in Virginia, but most of my life, I grew up in Southern California. So, So yeah, nice. My working career so far was in California at that time. After the marketing job, I went to, that's when we moved to Idaho. We had our son, moved to Idaho from California, and I got a job at like a promotional product type company. So like we doing name designs for like hats, shirts. Yeah. So that was really cool. Learning like print methods on apparel, like screen printing, just manufacturing methods, figuring out how to packaging, like dye lines, all that kind of stuff. So that's like when I realized like product is definitely like, I like having that tangible thing at the end of the design, I guess you could say. So yeah, that was a cool gig. And then from there I went to a brand agency, design agency in Washington, and I was there for a few years or so, and that was super cool. So that was where I did a lot more of like branding, illustration type stuff, and yeah, from there I went to freelancing, and that's kind of when.
Did you move to Washington, or you stayed in Idaho?
Yeah, so when I moved from California to Idaho, and then Idaho to Washington for a few years, then back to Idaho. And then since Idaho, I've moved again. So like we've literally moved like, I don't know, maybe 10 times in the last 15 years. Wow. So I'm so over moving. We've been in this house for 2 weeks now. So we just moved in.
Wow. Oh, damn.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. I feel your pain, man. Moving sucks. Do you travel light? Because you move so much. Did you just... No, damn.
I underestimated. I was like, there's no. I mean, we keep getting rid of stuff. There's no way. There's a lot of stuff, but the amount of time I allocated with the U-Haul, it took us double the time that I thought. So I'm like, it was. Yeah. I'm glad to be here now. Like we dig this spot where we're at, but just the process, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, well, I hope you stay there for a while, bro, because moving is the worst.
That's the plan. Yeah, I'm done moving. We have everything set up. Finally, like the house is pretty much good to go, and if I can not move, that's the goal for sure.
Nice.
No, that's
I just want to
awesome.
go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pete.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to when you first started. Were you into art? Like you said, you were working at this company that was doing production stuff, but you weren't doing art. You were just kind of packing and stuff. Were you into art and like drawing then, or like did you start?
How'd it happen? How did the magic happen? Like you were drawing like boobs or dicks, and they were like, "Oh shit, that's fucking dope. We want to hire you to do some more dicks."
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't draw dicks? You got to put them.
There you go. See, told you.
But I would say like as a kid, I was into drawing, so I just didn't know there's like work, like you could get a job doing that. But I didn't do good in school. I was like, whatever to pass, so I don't have to take the class over again. That's pretty much what I did. So I didn't go to college or anything like that. So
So you're all talent, bro. Straight up, right there. It's dope.
I mean, it helps working with like legit people. I've learned so much from colleagues and different places that I've worked at. So, but yeah,
I think you have the best experience because like going to college, it kind of like teaches you where you need to go, but you like literally learn from professionals like there, and they taught you. That's probably better than college, no? Don't you guys think?
Cheaper.
Well, I was gonna go back. So
yeah.
you didn't did you go to school at all, or did you just straight up just learn on the job?
On the job. No college.
Dude, you have a super unique
Martin, hold
path,
on, dog. Hold on.
That's down.
You're cutting everybody off, Martin. Chill. Fuck. Okay, so you just fell into it. So you don't have a degree like the traditional way of that.
Yeah, no degree.
Wow.
Like I said, I didn't even know that was like an option. I was like, okay, now I see that this company lets you work on the computer and InDesign. Like, okay, that's a job. Like, I'll do that. And they were like, the owners were kind of like, consider doing web design. I'm like, I don't like websites. Like I didn't want, so I wasn't sure how that career path. I was just like, I'll keep doing that. And then like through looking at social media, like I came across like agencies like Lincoln Design where I was like, oh, that shit's cool. Like they work with all these clients that like I personally like because I grew up in Southern California. It's all skateboarding and motocross and stuff like that. So that is when I probably first realized like, oh, you can have like a really cool design job. That's like the dream job to me would be to be able to work on like that type of stuff, the fun work.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing design now? From when you first started learning InDesign till now, how many years has it been?
I don't know. I mean, it has to be. It feels like at least 10 years or so, but from the very beginning. Obviously, I didn't. I wasn't doing branding. Year one there was no branding, no illustration, none of that. Yeah. So I was probably working over 10 years, and then that what I was working on changed throughout that. But it all helps. Like even marketing, all that stuff has been useful. Like each job was useful to what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I think you're the first guest that we've had that hasn't had a degree in design. And I mean, you don't, I mean, everybody listening, you don't need to go to school to learn design. And I mean, obviously from what we can see, you were very successful. So that's pretty badass, man.
Nice.
You've been able to work with Lincoln Design, and I mean, they're highly respected throughout the industry. So that's just badass, man. So like definitely hats off to you. Like kudos on that, man.
Thanks, man.
That is very badass. So when you first started as when you were learning the software as a creative services associate, what was your pay like? Do you remember at that time?
Low. I couldn't tell you how much, but it was definitely, maybe it wasn't minimum wage, but it wasn't like much different. It was definitely low, basic. This is like out of high school job kind of thing. So, it was, I couldn't even recall what it was, but it was definitely low hourly pay. Yeah.
During that first year that you were learning design, was there a time where you were just like, yeah, no, fuck this, like this is not for me, or is it just always like exhilarating and exciting to go into there and be like, holy shit, I'm getting paid to do this kind of stuff?
I mean, throughout my career, I think you're definitely stoked because you're getting to do like a job. Not a lot of people want to work in design and be able to I mean, there's people that go to college and get a degree and then still don't end up doing getting a design job.
That's
so
true. That is true.
I'm definitely like stoked at times, and then there's times where you're like, okay, I'm ready to like push and do something else. Like I did a lot of production work for years. Okay, now can I do something that's more creative? So it's like, it goes up and down kind of thing. But definitely grateful to be able to do this stuff. Like I work in my house. I get to take my kid to school and go do sports and stuff. And and I'm at home. I got my dog. It's like, it's pretty legit.
Nice.
For what I care about. It's like, I dig it for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's awesome. And I see that your first job, we looked at your LinkedIn, and obviously that's how we know this information. We're not stalking you. So, but you worked there for 5 years. So in that time frame, like, what was that like as you started getting like more skill set? Did you go after it, or your skill set just kind of showed that you could handle more and they started giving you more projects that you could run?
Yeah, I mean, To some extent, yeah, you can take on more, but it was always a production job. Like maybe they're like, hey, we're going to do some kind of poster for our, a rollout of something corporate. And you're like, do you want to do that? I'm like, oh, that's the fun job. Like I want to work on that poster. Now I'd be like, it's okay. I don't need to do that poster. But at that time I was like super stoked to do that. But when I left that job, it was basically, I had a buddy from high school who worked at another company, at the marketing company that I was talking about. And he, got my foot in the door. I interviewed, they offered me a position. So I went back to this company. I'm like, this is what they're offering. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to match that. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I got to go. So I went, and good thing I went, because, that's where I got now that marketing experience and trade show stuff, print. I think marketing, like just the marketing mindset is important. I mean, even if you're doing a t-shirt design, if you can still get your head around who that end recipient is, like to me, that's a lot of what marketing is just trying to get someone to do something. So I think it was totally useful, like a super useful job. I wouldn't go back there, like I don't even know if that company's still around. It was kind of a shit show, but I'm glad I had that experience.
How was that switch up for you from the design to now marketing? Like, were you able to switch over pretty quickly, or it was a big learning curve?
I remember being nervous because, like, I worked in a production team, and then now I have a creative director, and he's expecting me to create, designs and come up with ideas. And so definitely out of my comfort zone at first, but I liked it and I got better and, so it worked out, but for sure out of my comfort zone at first. Like probably each time I move jobs, it's like something is a little different than what I'm used to, but I guess that's the point, I guess. So
yeah, cutting your teeth.
You learned InDesign, and then what software did you learn after that? Photoshop or Illustrator?
Yeah, I would say that I probably learned both of those at the same time, but spent more time in Illustrator just by nature of the job. So, but yeah, I mean, there was some photo editing for, ads that with photos and some stuff like that. But a lot of stuff was print layout. And so I did a lot of, at that time, I would say Illustrator for sure. Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of documents other than like one pagers or something like that. So, yeah,
that's interesting because your artwork, at least from what we see, it looks very like vector heavy. So it is more into that. Like that makes total sense. We kind of stick with the tools that we love.
Yeah,
I mean, all three of us love InDesign. There's new designers in the industry now. They're like, hey, we don't touch InDesign. We lay out everything in Illustrator, and I'm like, why? Why the fuck are you doing that? That's disgusting. So that's cool, man. So tell us, like, when you were at that, is it NVS Marketing as a graphic designer, what kind of projects did you take on that were like pretty big that you were just kind of like, oh shit, like I'm playing with the big guys now? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah. I mean, it's not impressive nowadays, but like I remember the first time I did like this campaign for like a hiring campaign, and they were like putting banners and like table wraps like in my local mall. So at that time I was like, oh, I got shit out in the real world and I get to go see it. So I was like, I would go to the mall and take pictures. Like, in the early days, like that was like the coolest thing. And then now I just kind of like cringe at it, but it was, I was pretty hyped about it back then, but it's like the most corporate looking stuff, it's corporate companies. So it was funny, but this stuff was useful. I mean, even like the InDesign, learning InDesign, like I use that, like, at Lincoln, like when there was an InDesign project, they could lean on me because I was one of the few guys that did a lot in that work in InDesign. So it was helpful like throughout my whole career. Right now, I'll use it on a one-off project, but when I do use it, it's like I have to have it. Like, if it's a multi-page document.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No other way.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
I think I've used InDesign every job I've ever had, so it's I do magazine layouts as well too, so I've done entire publications. So yeah, InDesign is, I'm eventually get an InDesign tattoo somewhere on me. I don't get the trio InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop. Yeah, man. I mean, it's how I earn my money, so it's for me it's cool. Let's see, Sly.
Yeah. So when you were learning all of this, did you have like a computer at home? Did you have the programs at home? Or are you learning all on the job and like taking time after work and learning there,
a really
or
good
taking
question.
it back home and working?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. They definitely provided the computer for me. But I was a laptop, so I could bring it home, and I know I did stuff outside. Like I went through a phase where I was like doing more like lettering stuff just because I thought it was cool and fun to do. So I definitely learned stuff outside of the job too. Like early on, doing like even free projects for friends, stuff like that. So, which ultimately has been useful. Like I remember like one of the earlier logo projects I did for a buddy. I did it for free, but it was like in a style that I wanted to try, and I thought it would be fun to do. And then, I put that in my portfolio, and the next job I got, like that was the piece that kind of sealed the deal for them. So I'm like, well, good thing
sweet.
I did that, So that stuff, especially for like young designers, I think that's totally cool to do, is just, just build up the body of work, however you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, for sure. 100% agree on that. Because it's like training, you constantly work on that skill set and you work hours and hours on that craft. And then you either get it or you don't, plain and simple. That's the way that I see that. Slide, you have anything else?
For sure.
Off that question, no. Martin, you've been a little bit quiet. Do you have any questions before I
don't
go?
know. Fucking pee deflated my energy, motherfucker.
He's like, stop interrupting us.
You were cutting.
Well, I don't want to jump. I don't want to stop cutting me off, bitch. I don't want to jump all over the place, but
Coming off. Yeah, knowing that is when you just all of a sudden jump in and you start talking.
So anywhere in your career path, did you ever hit any walls, and how did you overcome that? That's usually what I like to ask.
Yeah, I don't know about a wall. I mean, I've definitely had times where I'm not feeling as creatively like fulfilled, and so I can tell, or my wife can tell, I'm not as happy or something. And I don't realize until I leave that job. I'm like, oh, I wasn't getting pushed enough at this point. So that's in the past. When I worked at Lincoln, it wasn't like that. That job was dope. So it was every day you're learning, improving, working with working with really talented people also really helps, you elevate your skills and stuff. So yeah, for sure.
Nice.
When you were at NVS, what was like the biggest project that you worked on besides the grocery one that you talked about? And to be honest, even now for me, when I still see my stuff in the wild, I still geek out. It's just fun. I do too, for sure. I do a lot of like apparel graphics, so I will, see that in a store, and I'm like, I think it's so cool.
That's
and
dope,
my wife's like, nice.
Fuck
okay,
yeah,
great.
dude.
Yeah, it makes me excited,
Exactly.
And a lot of the clients that I work with, is it's like for industries, or like they do stuff that I like. It's like things I'm into. So I'm like, it's usually at a store that I like going to when I see something. So it's pretty, that'll be cool forever to me, I think.
Nice.
So
go ahead, Martin.
So I noticed a little bit off topic, but so I noticed on your website, Slack, you pull up his website and go over to his store so he can show people all the goods he has. Like he's got some dope ass shit. He's got some texture packs. He's got 2 fonts on here, which is fucking dope. Like you made your own fonts. Like, whew, that's awesome. Realistically too, because a lot of designers are wondering, like, should I do this? How profitable is all the stuff that you have on here? Is it worth doing?
Go to your shop.
I feel like the digital products for me have been worth doing. I think the like stickers and stuff like that, that's like a passion project for sure. Like nice. I wouldn't pay any bills with stickers. I can't show you, but like I got shit all over, like covered in stickers. Let me see. Like I can only show you this because it's the only thing I can carry, but you can see like I got stickers everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Sticker bombing, yeah.
I've got like multiple shelves just fully covered, so I've got some square footage that looks like that. So I just love stickers. But yeah, to what you were saying, I think the digital stuff has definitely been better. The fonts have done well and been worth it. The texture pack is by far the outlier. And I think it has a lot to do because it
blew up on TikTok and Instagram, right?
Yeah, and I think it is because like a lot of my work is known for that, grungy style. So that's it gets that attention for that, and I think that's why that's been the best seller for sure.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
I mean,
Yeah, I was watching your short on it. It looked good.
Thanks, man.
when I looked at your artwork, I mean, I noticed definitely like a lot of the textures, and then seeing that for sale, I was like, oh, I gotta snatch this up because I love texture. I love that grunge look when it's used properly. I know Martin kind of has a little bit of a love-hate with it, but when it's used correctly,
No, I love
think
grunge.
It's
Correctly.
when it's used correctly, it's definitely awesome. You know, you notice a difference when a brand new designer uses it compared to a seasoned designer. They know how to manipulate it and work with it. And it's not just completely in your face, rock and roll, just screaming at you. So definitely the skills are there.
It's funny that you say that though, because one thing real quick, like I think the reason why I started, I mean, I like that distressed look for sure, but I think what made me lean into it a bit more was probably just like insecurity in like the quality of my illustrations. And I was like, well, I can just put the texture on it, and it kind of makes everything look, you know, I know it blends it together. So if your illustration isn't as good, like that kind of helps make the design flow together a little bit better. So I think that's where it started, and it just kind of kept going and then became part of, like, if I have a style, I guess you would say that would be part of my style. But I also do stuff in all different types of, you know, that's a lot of the stuff I show is the stuff that's fun and I like, but there's stuff that looks like the opposite of what I post, but it's fun to work on too, you know?
No, for sure. I mean, just because you show one style doesn't mean that that's exactly all you do. I know there's designers that do that. Like, this is the only thing I do, nothing else for their freelance stuff. But it's also nice to be a well-rounded designer. I mean, we all kind of came up through the ranks, so we all know how to do corporate stuff as well, too. But to go back on the texture thing, to me, I love using texture. It's kind of like the way I think about it, the MSG of graphic design. You know, you just kind of sprinkle something in there and it brings out that flavor.
Spice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
As you did almost 2 years over at NVS, what was like the turning point for you to say, okay, I think it's time for me to move on? And like, what kind of money range were you also making towards that end?
Dude, I wish I could tell you what money I was making. It's so long ago. I also, you know, especially like most of the time I wasn't managing finances like my wife does, so I wouldn't even know like what day I got paid on. I was just like,
shit! Like, give me my money.
I wouldn't even know. So like, I mean, pay matters for sure, but it wasn't like my focus. My focus is, you know, in my working life has always been like the job, just
Okay.
Now that I work independently, it's like, you know, it's me and my wife. We work together full time doing this, but I definitely pay attention to the finances now a bit more because you have to. But yeah, I cannot recall what I made. It wasn't a ton. I know that, and this was a long time ago. But the reason why I left there was, so it's pretty shitty. Like, my wife was 7 months pregnant at the time, and they just like laid off like waves of people. And so, and I was, it was like so bad that like the lawyer would walk over and like point at a couple of you and you're like, let's go. And so like me and my buddy that I worked with, like we got sat down at the same time and you're like, yeah, you know, this is your last day. And then they just walked us out, escorted us out. So it was a shitty place and it was obviously it wasn't managed well. What was cool is like we were the marketing division of this company, and for most of the time I was there, we were off site. They gave us our own office in a different building. Okay. And so like all of that time was cool. And then the last however many months they brought us back, probably because they were having financial difficulties. I can see that in hindsight now. And then they were you would see the lawyer, like, we made jokes that he was like the Grim Reaper. Like as soon as you see him start walking by, you know, he was like killing people. And it was like waves of like people getting
killing jobs. Yeah.
But it was, so, I mean, I kind of saw it coming. So, but it was stressful, but it all works out the way it's supposed to. I wouldn't change anything. But yeah, gnarly experience for sure.
How long were you down? Like, how long were you without a job till you found your next job at Name Brand Promotions?
So I was able to float some time. I don't know how long, but like freelancing. So my wife also worked in real estate at the time. So, you know, she was earning I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much she's always been the breadwinner. So like with her career, she's in
Nice.
sales and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so I was able to at least get by with that. And then eventually that's when I took a job in Idaho and moved to Idaho. So,
Yeah. So that's the name brand promotions.
yeah.
That's when you, okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I could definitely relate to you on like, you know, the Grim Reaper or the Terminator coming around and, you know, just kind of letting people go. When Tropicana got bought, the Tropicana Casino, I mean, Martin had just left, like, I think, 3 months prior, 6 months prior. And it was
Seriously,
just me
like
and Sly.
right before.
And they moved us properties to a different casino. And then that location was just terrible. I mean, all of a sudden now I went from the art director to now just pretty much production. And we had a creative director. And, I mean, me and Sly were laying out everything for the property. I mean, all signage for property, for mailers, out of home, everything. The three of us did it. But then going from that to like, okay, you get a poster, a 22 by 28 in a directional, like, hey, go left for the restroom.
For the day.
Yeah. And if it wasn't done by a certain time, that job was taken from you and given to another designer. So you had to be there before 9 o'clock. It was expected for you to be there before 9. And if you got to leave at 5, you were lucky. And I remember we were walking out, and one of the designers is like, "It's only 5 o'clock. Where are you guys going home?" We're like, "Because it's 5 o'clock. Like they pay us from 9 to 5." And he's like, "I don't remember the last time I went home at 5." I'm like, "Well, you're in the very wrong fucking like atmosphere here because that's terrible." And then even the creative director, she would come in at noon. And then she'd be like, "Why are you guys leaving at 5?" I'm like, "But why are you coming in at noon? Like, you're supposed to set by example, and everyone's here at 9. You coming in at noon, you're making 6 figures, and you're giving everybody shit because they're not or leaving at 5 o'clock when they're supposed to." So it sucks when that happens, and we ended up like bouncing. But it was definitely a very ugly situation towards the end there. I remember she pretty much gave us like a lecture, remember, Sly? And then at the end, she's like, "Well, if you don't want to be here, both of you are talented enough to get a job somewhere else." And I was like, "Okay, well, fuck
Which
you
I
too."
did. She was basically laying it out to the point where it was like giving us all the shit jobs that would basically push us out of the company. So she was just like, whatever I can give them to make them want to quit and leave here, I would give them. Because they ultimately gave us a job because it was bought out by the same company that they were under. So they're like, "Oh, we have to take them in." And she was like, "Well, I don't want to take these people in." But then she had to, and then she's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give them all the shit." And I was in the same boat with Pete. You know, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving at 5. They're not giving me anything. They're barely even like acknowledging our existence here.
Yeah,
and they're not trying to incorporate us into the team. Fuck that."
Yeah. Is it so? Like in hindsight, does that like feel like a super toxic environment when you look back on it? Like,
100%.
I can imagine.
Yeah, when you were there, like again, like so when we were at Tropicana, it was creative freedom. Like we got to take over the brand. The team members wanted to take home like the signage whenever the events were done because they liked it, and they would even tell us like, "Hey, everything has been upscale since you guys took over." But then it was also like our office. We got to like spray paint graffiti and like very artsy. In there, it wasn't like the rest of the corporate office. It was all like yellow wallpaper and everything. We got to be able to paint it white.
We made it ours.
We had a big chicken wing on one of the side, a bunch of quotes and everything, and it was definitely like a more like agency feel. And then going from that to where we ended up getting bought out of, it was terrible. I mean, it just drained your creative soul, and it just I mean, it sucked to be able to get yelled at or even like talked to or not being there before 9 and then be looked down upon for leaving at 5. Like you're getting paid 9 to 5 and you're like, "What are you doing?" No, fuck that. No, thank you. You know, so I'm glad.
I mean, at the end of it, it's okay.
At the end of it,
I mean, it's a job. At the end of it, it's like it's a job. Like you're, you know, like it's weird for them to expect you to devote your life to. Like you have a family, like it's kind of now in hindsight. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I would be in that, and I'm like, yeah, I will work the extra hours. I am devoted. Like I'll show you, and you know, and sometimes it's worth going the extra mile for sure. You want to be like good at your craft and devoted to your job, but like, you know, I definitely prioritize family more so than when I was younger. Or at least I'm smart enough to like realize that I'm how to do that. But I think while you're in it, especially if you're younger, like you don't realize a toxic environment until like you leave it, you know? So yeah, I couldn't go back to, something like that for sure. I'm sure you feel the same way, now that you know what it's like.
Like when we were at Trop, like we learned, like I was engraved that, like, you take pride in meeting your deadlines, and if you have to stay over to get work done, if you come on the weekends to get shit done because we have a big thing coming up, yeah, fuck yeah. But when you work somewhere and like you're getting rush jobs and you have to stay over hours and hours because some dumbass didn't fucking take time to like get it to you in time when they could have, then that's when you're like, nah, man, that's some fucking bullshit. I don't want to stay over and not be with my family or be with my friends or do my personal stuff because somebody's holding up the pipeline.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, too, also for me, at least, like my mentality is leadership kind of takes the weight on that too. So I was the one, when I needed to, I would kick back and kick these guys out and be like, hey, go home. But to me, it's like, I don't mind putting in the extra hours if the environment was there, if it was fun and it was supportive, that's one thing. It definitely always, I didn't mind doing the overtime. When it was a shitty place, I literally would drag my feet in and be there at 9, and then I'd leave right at 5 on the dot. Like, you're not getting an extra minute out of me. Like, nope, I'll do my job. Yeah. That's what you hired me for. If you want me to do more, like, let's review my contract and my pay, and we'll go from there. So, But so you're working at Name Brand Promotions. Tell us about that experience. Like, how was like the work environment? How was that moving on now? You growing in your career? What kind of responsibilities and pay were you at now for that position?
Yeah, so it was a cool gig. I definitely learned a lot. Like I said, we're dealing with products, designing stuff for products. So if you're making patches for hats, you get to if it's full cut and sew, apparel or stuff like that, packaging, creating custom packaging, dye lines. But it's like definitely everything at the end of it was going to be a product. So some stuff definitely corporate, but a lot of stuff was fun because I think that this particular promo company tried to make that a point of difference for them, is like they would do the more artistic stuff, not just slap logos on things. So it was a cool learning experience. I worked a lot longer hours than I should have when my kid was like super young, so my wife doesn't let me forget about that, but I didn't, I was like, I didn't know any better. Yeah. So
remember when,
but it was cool. It was a cool gig. Yeah, it's funny, but and then eventually my wife actually worked there as well. She worked, was brought on as an account manager and then became like account director, managed employees. And so she's like, when it's sales, client relations, like she kills it at that kind of stuff. So yeah, so she did well there.
That's dope.
And she was there longer than I was. She stayed and even worked remote when I went to Washington. But yeah, she also worked long hours there too. So it's funny how it ended up going. But
right back in her face, right? Nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about, girl?
But she was making
it wasn't me. It was
so.
the job.
Yeah.
While you were working there at that company, was there a time, like a job that you did that you was like or something that you messed up that you thought maybe you got fired, or maybe thought it didn't come out as good as it should have?
Yeah, I mean, never fired, but you like anyone, like you're gonna make a typo mistake and it's gonna go to print, and you're like, I can never fuck that up again. Like I have to triple check, or you have like cut lines or a bleed line, and you think that this is the bleed, but it's actually not, or something. You get that wrong and it prints and it's too small or something. It's like it's shitty. And like the company paid for that, and now they got to redo it. But that's like the way that I don't ever fuck that up again. So it's
for sure.
Yeah, nothing to the extent where like I'm gonna get fired. Other than that one time I got laid off, I've never. I don't know. I'm sure there's been multiple typos, like, I don't know. I mean, I still do typos now. I'm like, I'll double check. I'll have my wife double check. And then sometimes like, things
it
get
just goes through.
It's just, it's not often, but it's, I think, just part of it,
Yeah. No, I've been there too. I was an art director for a magazine, and I had 2 typos in the first issue. and you print 100,000 copies, and I'm like, shit, like let me fix the digital version, but I can't. It's already printed. What can I do? It's distributed.
It's gone out.
Like it's
owning it. 100,000 more.
Yeah, I'm like I fucked up, and I'll triple check the next one. So it's I could definitely relate to that part. It sucks, but luckily I didn't get fired.
Yeah, it blows. It I don't. Yeah, emotionally it's brutal, but yeah, it's part of. I think it's part of design. You're just like so visually focused that you just I mean, you guys get it.
Yeah,
it happens.
You hyper focus on like the design that you're working on, and you don't really sometimes don't pay attention to the copy, especially if it's heavy copy. Yeah. But also, we're supposed to have safeguards. You're supposed to have a copywriter or somebody to proof it after you do it. We do. As designers, we kind of proof it a little bit, but somebody else should proof it too. So it's kind of your fault, but it's not your fault. If it's a typo, if it's designed, then yeah.
I just make words look pretty. That's it. I don't.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Agreed.
The second I'm working on some typography, the words, like I'll look at it for 5 minutes. I'm like, this doesn't even read like a word anymore. I'm just looking at like negative space and like how this shit flows. And then I'm like, does this word even make sense anymore? And I'll show somebody, they're like, yeah, that's exactly how you spell it. Like, I don't know. This looks wrong to me. So I can totally understand. As soon as I'm looking at it and I'm like in the nitty gritty, it doesn't even read to me anymore. I'm just looking at it.
And if it's long documents, the only thing I read is the headline and maybe the sub, and then all the other filler copy. I'm not going to read all that shit. I'm just going to copy paste and make it look pretty,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially like logo types, like you're talking about. When you're in a logo type, like, I have to have someone else looking. Like, does this still read right? Like, is that an I or is that a whatever? But
yeah, very, very true. How would you personally define good design?
Dang. I don't know. I mean, some people are gonna be like, it's functional, it serves the purpose.
You personally.
But then how
do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should serve the purpose, but look dope, So, like,
I was gonna say, you should say, look dope as long as it looks good. Yep.
Yeah,
you're right, bro.
As long as it looks dope, but yeah, if it can serve the purpose, that is a plus for sure. Probably a requirement, but that's what I would say.
I agree. Definitely agree on that part. Cool, sweet. So you work there. Is there a highlight at name brand promotions that you remember that stand out? A project that you were just like, this is my cherry on top for this company?
I could think of, let me see, some like fun stuff. I remember working on a snowboard for like a vodka company, and then they produced a snowboard. Nice. I like snowboarding, so I was like, that's so dope. And then like,
Did you get one?
I didn't. The company did. I wish I got one. But it was cool to get one. And then my art director's like, let's go up to the mountain and like we'll take photos.
I'll let you borrow it.
Like I did get to use it for like the photo shoot, but I mean that's snowboarding.
Oh, sweet!
So it was.
Nice. So you got to do the photo shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I got to ride the board. I'm not crazy or anything, so it's like, just jump so you can see the bottom of the board or something, But that was fun, to do that, get paid to go do that. Can't beat that. So that was a highlight for sure.
Now you got to add model to your resume, man.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I can model my own product,
Professional snowboarding model. There you go.
That's freaking awesome, dude. Sweet. So you leave this job, and then tell us how you fell into Lincoln Design. I mean, again, they're a very well-known brand, and you leave name brand promotions. It looks like May, and then immediately go to Lincoln Design. Tell us about that journey. How did that go?
Yeah, that was super cool, and then kind of unexpected because, like I said, when I was living in California doing like production work in InDesign, that's when I first came across their Instagram, and I was like, oh, there is cool jobs out there. There are people working for like all these brands I grew up loving, and like action sports or whatever. I mean, they toys, Nickelodeon, Hot Wheels, like all this cool stuff. And so seeing that, I was like, okay, that's the dream job. I didn't even know that job exists, but that's definitely the dream job. So, it was just when I was working at Name Brand, there was a job opening, and I was like, I'm just going to apply and like, at least I can see how many rounds I get through, and then I'll know where I stand, So, I I did that, and eventually they offered me the position. And I'm like, oh shit! Like, okay, it was pretty intense because you have to commit to that. You got to move out of state. My wife's family from California, everyone like followed us down. So to just be like, okay, thanks for following us. Now we're going to leave again. Like that was kind of detrimental to the family,
Oh man,
it was brutal. There was a lot of things telling us, not to go or made it hard to go. At the end of it, my wife's like, you got to pursue this. Like, that's your dream job. Like, let's, we'll figure it out. So we ended up moving and then my wife's family followed us. So they ended up having to move again too. So, which we're lucky, they're so involved in my son's life, and that's the best to have, super involved grandparents. But yeah, that's awesome, that's pretty much how it happened. And then moved out to Washington and started working there, and it's, super dope job for sure.
How many rounds of
interview?
I don't know what. Yeah, interviews. Did you have to go through? What was the process of getting hired there?
So I don't know if it wasn't so much rounds. It's like they put out the job posting. Everyone obviously submitted applications and whatnot. One guy got picked and was brought on, and then I think the goal was like, okay, down the road we'll add another one, and that the owner liked my work, that he was like, let's just add the second one now. And so then he brought me on after that. So, I mean, there was a couple rounds of interviews in that process to meet the different people, but that's pretty much how it went. So Dave was the other guy that got hired on right before me. So, and he's super legit.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. What kind of work did you have in your portfolio at the time for them to like consider you? Because I mean, Lincoln Design is very high caliber and they're very unique. I mean, to me, that's just, top echelon on that stuff. Like you gotta, I mean, it's a mecca of design for agency. So what kind of, what did your portfolio look like at that time?
Yeah, you'll get a kick out of this. Like, so when I worked at Name Brand, the owner, the owners of that company are definitely like in sales. They're not designers or, creative directors. And so they, for whatever reason, were very strict and like protective over, like they wouldn't let us freelance. Like that was just the policy. Like you don't get to freelance. So I couldn't do any client work while I was there. And so I would just make like fake logos for fun, like in the morning or at night, just to be like, oh, I think that logo's dope. Let me see if I can make a version of that. And so it was just practice logos that's what I submitted in a PDF, like a 2-page PDF. And it was like, I think having the diversity helped, but they were all fake. Like, I don't think any of it was like client projects. Like, I think it was all fake stuff just because I couldn't do any, I didn't do branding at the marketing job. So I was doing branding on my own for fun because I couldn't work with clients because then, it was dumb. Like, I don't believe companies should do that to their designers. Like, your designers are creative people, like let them, like at the most, they're going to get more experience out of freelancing. Like they're going to develop more skills.
Did they make you like sign a contract on that, or it was just a verbal kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a verbal cultural thing. Like we definitely talked about, and it was like understood like that was the policy. And it was like, maybe my art director at one time did that. They didn't like it, stopped it, made it clear to me that that's not the policy. So I think that had a big part of, like when I was saying like I'm not creatively fulfilled, like, well, that like was probably me just trying to help myself, like I would wake up early in the morning. I don't know how I was doing it because I can't wake up that early now, but I'd wake up early and I would do a logo. I'm like, if I could do one logo before work, that'd be, cool. I'll have a pile of logos. So, but I'm glad I did, sometimes it's just that passion projects that end up being so like useful to your career.
Dude, that's crazy that you talk about that because there was an interview that I saw with Dan. That's his name, right? The owner of Lincoln? Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
Who said that, even if a person has fake work in their portfolio, you can tell when they have the chops. So for you to create that stuff and then he liked it, like, and I agree with that. You don't have to have, all these big name clients. If you know how to do the work and you're talented, it's going to show, even if you make up, whatever client it might be. So that's badass, man. That's badass for what he said and it actually is true, hearing it from a person that he hired, that to me is just awesome. Like that guy, I got more respect for that guy. That's badass, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, go ahead.
Not only that, but this is something we tell like students all the time. Like when we go, because we've all gone, me, Sly, and Pete have gone to like portfolio reviews, and we tell students all the time like passion projects. So you are literally saying, I got a gig at this dope ass agency or this dope ass place because of my passion projects, and I love to hear that because it's awesome. Dude.
Yeah. Now, Dan is like super dope, but like for him, I think what matters is definitely like caliber of work, and then like, are you a cool person to be around, like jive with the team and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't want to steer people away from college, but I would say I think there was probably like 3 of us or so that don't have degrees. So definitely that wasn't the requirement. It was like the portfolio was the requirement.
Yeah.
For sure. And then you as a person, like, are you going to get along with the team? Like, fit in that environment, so yeah, for sure. But
yeah, especially a place like that. A place like that is definitely like all about team member and talent for sure. A degree is a degree. If I could do it all over again, I think I still would go to school, but just to have it, like I'm the first member of my family to get a college degree. So I think that'd be the only reason to do it. But I don't think you need a degree to do design. As long as you have the talent, the drive to do it, and the passion, it definitely you could create some badass stuff. So that's super rad, man. We're coming up on our. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I definitely, it's like, people ask me like, advice and stuff, and so I don't definitely ever try to steer away from college. I just can't like speak to it, but I think having like just motivation to make stuff, like, if you're not going to go to college, like you're going to have to teach yourself some stuff and be wanting to do that, so and it's, I think that's a big factor, because like even like the guys that I work there at Lincoln, like they're like top tier killers, but they're still doing passion projects in addition to working all day. It's like they can't help it, they just got to be making stuff, and like that's
sounds
just
like Pete.
It's just what it is, but it makes sense that why they, have, done well in their careers, probably because of that,
Yeah, no, well, I could definitely go ahead, Martin.
The way I see it is like we were blessed to go to college. So if anybody has the time to go to college, you're blessed. But you too, you were blessed, dude. The path you have is so unique, and like it's really unique. Not a lot of people go through that path, and you're very blessed to be able to,
thanks, man.
Be where you're at, and it's awesome and it's dope, and it just proves that like there's it was dedication and passion for what you do, passion for your craft, nonstop. You drew, and then you saw a path, and you took it, and you went with it, and you didn't stop. You could have easily stopped at your first job and would have been like, okay, cool, I did it, whatever. But no, you were like, oh shit, I want more. And then you're like, oh, I want some more. And then you set goals, and that's pretty impressive, and it's pretty amazing, dude. So yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I definitely, like my son or like some other, of his friends, like they'll see my office, and you're like, you work at home and you have this dope office, and you're like, that's the coolest job. I just want to draw all day. And I'm like, I think you also have to have it in you to want to make stuff. Like, even if I didn't have this job, I still have to make stuff. Like, that's just part of my DNA, like, I mean, if I just had infinite money, I would still be designing, because I got to make something.
Yeah, just right there.
For sure. So that's what I will tell kids or my son. I'm like, yeah, if you want to, like, then you got to be motivated to just be making stuff. Like, are you, wanting to make stuff all the time? If so, then maybe that is a fit. If it's not, that's okay. Like, it's not for everybody for sure. But I think the people that have done well is because they just have to make stuff, and they're, like you said, dedication and all that.
Dude, I'm already loving this conversation. Like,
yeah, no,
I could definitely relate to you on that. I mean, I work my 9 to 5, and then I still do my stuff on the side. Like, I love my passion projects, but I love like launching certain businesses. And if I could take a 1 or 2 projects, that's also beer money, that's extra money in my pocket, and it kind of just switches from what I'm doing on my regular 9 to 5. Right now, I'm currently just full-time freelancer. I just accepted a job offer. So I'm going back into the corporate world, but I have a family, I have a family that I'm taking care of. But when I was by myself, it was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm okay, like, leaving a job, especially if it's a toxic work environment, and just doing my own thing. I think my son's knocking on my door right there. You can see.
Love it. Love it.
Dad!
Pretty much. I have identical twin boys, so they're wild. They're 3 years old.
Nice.
They're wild. But
That's
no, I
fun.
could definitely relate on the passion stuff. I used to be roommates with Martin, and I would come home, eat my dinner, and then go back on the computer. And there's a YouTube tutorial that I saw, or a logo design that I saw, or something on Behance, and I'm like, can I replicate that? Can I work on my skill set in Photoshop and Illustrator? Can I just draw something? Like, till the day, I still love like tracing other people's artwork because I want to see how they started, where they started. Can I replicate that, and then take what I learned from that piece and implement that on my own? Like, can I start creating my own shit? So I could definitely again relate to the passion. I have to create something. Let me check on my voice.
That's cool.
Myself.
So-
Sly off.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have a question. When you do a lot of stuff on the side, right? Your passion projects, like I'm assuming that you're on the weekends. You're probably drawing logos or you're drawing some dope shit. Where do you start? Do you go, you put it on paper first and then you import it into Illustrator, or what's your process right now?
Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah, I'm probably not doing as much of the extra stuff just because like client work is all consuming. It seems like.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to balance like, family life and I have hobbies. I like the outdoors and all that stuff. So it's definitely things where I try to at least dedicate some time to that. It's hard when you doing your own business thing, but so as far as where I start, I mean, a lot of people are always talking about like, oh, you got to brand yourself. It's all about how you're branding yourself, and which that's cool. I get that. And so I do have like a lot of logos that are branded, with my name or, for, I guess, my brand. But a lot of that is just like, that's just stuff I want to make, like I do logo types and, badges, but it's like, that's like the playtime because like there's no rules on it. It is purely just what I want to make. And then it serves as my brand, I guess. You're like, oh, I'm branding myself, but I'm like, no, I'm just making stuff that I like purely because I think it's cool. So I guess brand your. I don't know. I mean, you hear everyone saying that nowadays. Like, you got to brand yourself. That's like the big deal. But I think just making stuff that you think is awesome is either going to lead to learning new skills or client projects. Especially for freelancing.
Oh yeah.
For sure. You're such a dope.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel lucky to have a job where I get to do what I like doing, like I just enjoy doing. So it's definitely.
Excuse me.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I think about it, I'm like, dude, 20-year-old me would be like shit in my pants right now. Like I get to draw in my room and just be at home and work on stuff that I think is cool, with clients that I think is cool. It's like, sometimes I'm stressed and I'm like,
Of course.
and I'm like, shit, I should remember like that I actually have it pretty damn good, But it's easy to just be like, fuck, deadlines, like, oh, this client's being difficult or this or that, whatever. But yeah, if you actually look back and think about it, you're like, it's pretty lucky for sure.
Dude, my
I
perspective
know you mentioned like process, right? You were talking about like what do I do?
Do you start drawing or do you just go straight up to Illustrator?
I in terms of sketching, like I'm definitely like a thumbnail sketching guy to just like get rid of like the ideas really quick. And then I will also kind of like sketch in Illustrator. So I will kind of just shape, shit out and see what composition works and then just refine and then test and like do different things like that. But I don't always do thumbnail sketches, but I would say that's a lot of it. And that's for like logos and stuff like that. Obviously some of my graphics have more like illustration. So I have an iPad and I use Procreate. So like this thing gets used daily.
Yep. I feel you on that.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of the high level process, I guess you could say.
Oh,
Dude, again,
awesome.
the skill set that you have and just like it just shows in your artwork. I mean, I can relate big time. But that's why I'm just having fun, like hearing your story. And I mean, I have the same passion. I fucking love what I do. And the stress to me, I get it from like now having a family. But before, it's like I've been deployed, I've been in combat, I've been shot at, and I've been almost blown up. Having to do that to what I do now doesn't compare. I'm just like cool.
Yeah.
I get to fucking push pixels and fucking Photoshop people out and make all these effects. At the end of the day, I have my beer and just hang out. Like this is just fucking fun to me. You know, I have friends that are
That's
cops
an interesting
and
path.
firefighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I joined the army
That's
right
cool.
out of high school. I was in JROTC in high school, and then I wasn't a very smart kid, and I knew I didn't want to go to college right away. So I knew eventually I would get there. But I went into the army for 9 years, and I didn't know you could do graphic design as a career. I saw a commercial. I applied to a different school, thinking it was the Art Institute. I went to the Art Institute by mistake, and I walked in, and that was the first time I walked into a school, and I said, "This is fucking awesome!" Like seeing the artwork everywhere, the painting, everybody was weird, but there was like no. It just felt home, you know. And I was just like, "Yeah, fuck yeah! Like this is what I want to do." Originally, I went to school for animation, and that kicked my ass. After 2 quarters, I was like, "Yeah, this is not for me." Switched over to graphic design and never looked back. So, but yeah, I mean, it's my perspective is definitely different. Once you've been shot at and almost blown up, the stress kind of changes on that part, you know.
That's crazy. Like, you know, most designers like don't have a military background. You're probably a more tough, badass designer than most. We're all just like pressing buttons all day, man. That's pretty cool.
Thank you, man. Thank you. But we're reaching our 1 hour mark, and guys, you know what that means. It's time for a refill. This is what we do.
Second beer.
Yeah, that's loud.
Oh my god, dude! No more.
Oh, shit, my bad.
It's like a chihuahua in my ear.
Miss my beer opener.
All right.
All right, well, I already
got
have mine ready, so I'm going to go first.
Go for it.
This one is called Johatsu. It's a smoothie sour. Man, it's hard to read. It's so small, but it's this one right here.
Johatsu. Is it like just black with a shadow? That's all I see.
No, there's a
Like a person, right?
It's like a dark.
Yeah, there's like some
reminds me of,
city
the
lights.
Exorcist poster.
Yeah.
For me, it reminded me of Constantine. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Or from our last episode, the John Wick.
John Wick.
The camera's trying to catch me up there.
Yeah. That's the only shitty part about the wide view. Like, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, see, now it does it.
7%. I don't know why, man. It's fucking high alcohol.
How you feeling, Sly? I love Buzz.
Can you hear the slurs? Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm keeping it together.
And he
but
took
I'll
a
pop it
shot
right now.
too, bro.
Dude, you guys ever
was just-
get a little scratched? Like,
Dude,
it goes long enough for that?
The
be
first
fun.
episode that we recorded, I got a little wasted, and then I think it was like maybe our first season. We all of us kind of like drank a little too much, and you saw it, but it's just one time, you know, like we're getting a little wasted or a little buzzed, and then just shooting the shit about design.
Getting excited.
You just kind of continue, and you just talk about pixels and work stuff, and it's just. Yeah, man. I mean, you don't really have that kind of conversation with normies, you know? It's like, they don't understand, like, dude, I did this fucking thing at 16-bit, and then I got the fucking banding out of the way, and
they're like, what?
All right, you nerd.
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
so my beer is from the Czech Republic. Again, going with the beers around the world. And it is Pilsner. I don't know how to say that word.
Urquell.
Sure.
Urquell.
So that is a pretty cool cap right there. You can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like the typography lettering on this. That's pretty dope. That's something that I would want to like use for whatever reason.
The original Pilsner. Just so you know, the original.
Pretty rad.
Yeah, that die cut's dope.
Let's see what this tastes like.
Give it a swish.
I didn't like it. His face is like.
It's getting me. Go ahead, Martin. Let me take another swift here.
I'm still with Victoria. Just the other day, the dead design right here. Okay, I'm my
There we
face
go.
right there.
Move it in front of your face. There you go.
It's
perfect.
You don't need to see the back. The back is boring.
It's weird. It has like a bitter taste in the front, and then it tastes like water, and then it lingers at the end. Like it's like, I don't know. I have one, and that's it. It's
Dristy, can you give us a flavor profile of your water?
It's pretty stale at this point. Not
Cool.
that
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to all of you. This is a good
Yeah.
podcast so far.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for being on, bro. You're super dope,
Yeah.
super
We
inspiring.
really appreciate you.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
So I
It's
want
fun
to talk more. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, yeah, it's fun to be able to talk. You know, like this is like one of my biggest passions. Obviously, design for same for all you guys. So it's like, you know, my wife can only hear so much about this shit. So it's like it's nice to actually talk to some other dudes that, you know,
Bro,
get
do you
it.
like when you go out and about, do you break down shit that you see and you tell your wife, oh,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
that font's dope or this and that? Because I know I do that. We all do.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell my wife
It-
whenever I see promos, I'm like, I have that font. I know how they did that one. I know how they broke that one down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny now, you know, like I said, her background is in sales and like, you know, client communication. So she does a majority of like our dealing with the clients and like all the business stuff. I pretty much just do the creative. So it is funny that, yeah, now she kind of has to be like into what I do because she is selling that to some extent. So she's got to know what I'm doing. You know, she does think it's cool now, but I don't know. It's kind of funny how things have changed.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, my wife at the beginning when we first started dating, she just kind of didn't get it, and now you know she understands. She's like, "Oh, this is a cool vector. Oh, that's a cool image." Like, now she gets that just a little bit, enough to where I'm like, okay, like you know, it's all right. You don't understand, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You're trying.
She gets it now. Like when she sees a project that we both worked on and it's out in real world, she's like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's the fun
Yeah,
stuff."
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
she
That's
gets it.
super rad. So tell us more about Lincoln Design. Like you start the job there. Like how was it that first 30 days being there? Like I mean, did you just hit the ground running, or like did you feel overwhelmed? Like walk us through that process.
yeah, I mean, definitely you have to hit the ground running. Like there's no, you know, the way it works there is like, you know, multiple people work on a project at the same time so that there's multiple concepts. Whether, you know, if it's a logo project, they're going to get multiple concepts from different people. So you have to, you know, you're whoever you're working with or however, you know, multiple designers, like we're all producing, hopefully you're both producing multiple graphics for that, you know, time period that you're assigned it. And so it's like, you're not competitive, like you're trying to outdo someone. Like it definitely wasn't like a competitive atmosphere, but you're definitely like, I got to keep up. Like I want to, you know, I'm sure it was definitely like, of course, you know, any new job is like out of your comfort zone. But you're just like, oh, I hope, you know, can I perform? Like, can I, you know, you feel insecure just by nature, you know, something new. It's, you know, it's supposed to be challenging you. You want to get better. But like as projects keep going and you start like clients start picking your designs and stuff like that, it gets easier. But for sure it was, intimidating at first, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've been following, like I said, I thought their work was dope before I even knew how to use Illustrator. So to now getting like, you know, now I got to like put my shit in the ring with their stuff is like definitely something new at the time.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, definitely nerve-wracking on that part. Like seeing something, you know, prior, and now you're in there with Ali boxing. It's definitely different, man. That's crazy. What was like your biggest project when you were working there that you could recall? Or a fun project, anything that sticks out?
Dang, I don't know. There, you know, I mean, if you've seen some of their work, like that, like all the clients are pretty dang awesome. So it's like you get stoked to work on any project. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick. Like, I personally loved working on WWE stuff just because I love typography. You know, Hot Wheels was cool just because, you know, I like cars and I was a kid.
Yeah, that's badass.
But
do you remember what you did for Hot Wheels?
I mean, I did a lot of like logo concepts, so it's like usually for a new product or stuff like that. So, because like they have illustrators that are just like they're not even human, you know. Like I don't, it doesn't make any sense. But so I was, you know, a graphic designer there, and then we did a lot of like the branding, logo design, stuff like that. You know, we might do some graphic illustration, but if it's illustration, that's what those guys are going to do. So,
okay,
but yeah, I mean. What's also cool is, like I said, like most projects everybody touch. You know, I'm trying to. There's not a whole lot. Like if it's just an illustration project, then obviously not. But like, you know, like each one of those projects in that portfolio, like it took most of the team to do it. So it's you get to
Everybody's doing something.
You get to at least pitch in. You know, whether your concept gets picked by the client, you know, that's, you know, who knows, but you're at least participating for sure. I would say like stuff that was extra fun for me is definitely like Lincoln design related stuff, like stuff for their own brand apparel for them and stuff like that. I always like Dan does a lot of that stuff too, so I like being able to work with him on that stuff. Yeah, even just like little stuff like zines and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all fun stuff. It's hard to pick like what was the coolest because it was all pretty surreal, you know.
So if a project of yours got picked, like what is the process then afterwards? Like, do you art direct the entire thing, or is it just kind of since it's your idea, or how would that go?
No, I mean, so yeah, there's obviously creative director, art director, and then graphic designers. So I would say it just depends. Like if your logo was picked, preferably you would work on, you know, the edits if there's edits. But if you couldn't because you were needed for something, like someone else might take over. But it wasn't like, you know, that. Yeah, it wouldn't be so much like your direction. You are working as a team. Like there is a brief, so it's not like my direction and someone else's direction is the opposite. Like we all got the same brief. We just kind of execute in a little different ways. We have our different strengths and stuff like that. So. But yeah, it just depends. It was interesting, like where you're like, you might make edits to someone else's logo, and then you know, or someone might make edits to your logo depending on your schedule. Because you know, definitely a good amount of volume. You know, we didn't like at least during the time I was there. I'm sure the early days were different, but like we weren't putting in over hours. Like it was pretty much the 8 to 5 deal, and. Except for Dan, you know, that guy is dedicated for sure, and he's crushing it. So to be expected, but yeah, it was, you know, we're putting out a good amount of volume in that time for sure.
No, that's awesome. I mean, especially being the owner, you know, you're putting in that time and the work to make your company succeed. So totally understand that side. So you're doing badass work in Lincoln Design. You're doing your time there. You're in Washington. What made you leave Lincoln Design?
So, yeah, I probably, you know, at the time, I definitely would have stayed for, I don't know, I had no plans on leaving for sure. You know, it was a cool gig, and like the people are super dope. Like, you know, you're like working with your buddies. You're all the same age, working on stuff that's super fun. So it was a good gig. But the reason why I left was my wife got a promotion at her job, but it required her to be on site, and like with her making, you know, at the time significantly more than me, it was like for the family, like it's just like she took a huge sacrifice, like going to Washington to let me do my thing, and so, you know, it was like for the sake of our kid and our family, like it was a hard decision, but we were like, okay, we have to do that. So, you know, with moving meant I had to leave that job, and then you know, so from there, that's when I started freelancing. So yeah, and I've been doing that. I mean, it's been over a couple of years now. So
nice.
Yeah. And it worked out
a little bit. Did you cry?
No, I don't think I cried. No, I didn't cry. But I definitely was like, yeah, I was bummed because, you know, just in the sense that, you know, it was like a good gig, and, you know, I liked working with everyone. So it was a transition to, you know, I had to get used to it. But luckily, like freelancing worked out, you know, like I feel super grateful. It doesn't always work out for everybody. You know, I know some talented people that like are struggling. Just, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, obviously it's financially struggling just because the business is not thriving. But like we've, you know, been lucky that we've just gotten busier, you know. So yeah, financially, I'm grateful that it worked out for sure.
So, question for you: those people that you said that you know that are struggling, and then you look at them and look at yourself. Are you doing anything different that they're not? Are you? Because your stuff, like your website, looks fucking dope and clean. Your Instagram's like straight up, you know, dope and clean too.
Thanks, man. I don't know. I mean,
those two things right there are huge. You know?
I don't know the other people what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's the client experience too. I would say my first year doing, working on my own, I made more than my salary was. So it was like, wow, I'm lucky. Like, that means I get to keep doing this job. I don't have to go take a corporate job of a place I don't want to be at. I don't have a whole lot of dream job options in Idaho that I can think of that's going to be like similar to, the agency job. So, so I was like glad, okay, first year. And then my wife joined because, her job, like I said, she got a promotion. She worked there for some year or so longer. And then just like management kind of wasn't jiving. And it was just like, she eventually wasn't happy, had to leave. It was a toxic environment. And so I was like, okay, just, help me out. Like I'm not able to keep up with everything. At least help me out. And if you find something in the time being, like, cool. But, she started helping me out. I'm like, this works. Like essentially like doubled revenue within the time that a year from when she started. So I was like, wow. Okay, then let's just keep doing that. Like that's like super lucky. So, but that's also because she's adding value. It's not like I got double as good over, the next year. It was like she's, like I said, she's a primary contact with the client. So I like to think that they're getting like an elevated experience from like the independent, freelance designer that knows design, but isn't like, the client business communication isn't their like expertise. Where she's clearly better than that. I mean, like I don't, I can't tell her how to do that part. She knows that stuff better than I do. I know the design portion, so she lets me do my thing there. But for sure, like that's her strength. So I mean, it seems like the clients respond well to that. Of course, having like a better, experience working with us.
Does she that? Go ahead.
So would you say that community is like a big thing for you then, to be able to get like word of mouth for clients, or how do you get your? How do clients find you, or do you go attract them?
Yeah, so we don't do any cold outreach. We definitely, we don't really do any outreach, but social media is definitely helpful. Like that, we get a lot, and then also referrals. Repeat clients is like the best. But yeah, so far, like, we don't really do. I mean, we talked about doing like boosting a post on social media, like paid ads, but we really haven't done any paid advertising. I feel like a lot of anything cold in our fields so far, what I've seen has not been like super productive, like I think they ought to be looking for something. And then if they see that you have that, like that's the perfect timing for them.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I do a lot of cold emails, and that's actually how I've been able to like just ramp up my clientele. Just companies that I reach out to that I'm like, hey, this is kind of what I want to work with this sort of client. And I just reach out to a marketing person or a coordinator or a designer, and it just kind of gets passed along, and all of a sudden, hey, yeah, we're interested in working with you, or even just like setting up templates for them to better like do a better production. Like, because I do a lot of consulting as well, so that definitely that's where my cold email helps for me, where I've been able to generate revenue and clients. So just interesting to see different perspectives on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's something for us to look into, but yeah, it seems like it's such a specific thing. Like a lot of people are seeing something that I made, and they're like, I like something like that. So it's hard to hit them at the exact time that they need that. But it may be just something that we haven't figured out. Definitely, it's all been inbound, which that's been nice.
No, that's a blessing. I mean, if the wheel's not broken, there's something to change, man. So that's keep doing what you're doing. So obviously now you're independent. You work for yourself. What kind of gear do you have? Like, what kind of computer are you using, and like monitor setup? What's your desk setup look like?
What is it? I have a MacBook Pro. And then my monitor is just like a Samsung, I don't know, 32-inch monitor, and
just a one monitor,
something like that. Yeah, more would be nice, but it's hard. It's hard to justify just like buying all kinds of stuff, because I already buy a bunch of shit in this office, and like maybe that would be a better use of money. But no, it's just that, and then the iPad, which I've had probably like 5 years probably. So this thing is definitely getting a lot of use out of it.
Nice.
And then obviously like pencil and paper. I like dot grid paper for sure.
Nice.
What else? Yeah.
Do you use the iPad as a second monitor or no?
No, it's just to do any illustration part, sketches too. Like if you're, show a sketch phase, I'll sketch on that. Paper and pencils like thumbnails. That's like idea exploration kind of thing.
What about mouse? What kind of mouse did you use?
Magic Mouse. Yeah. What do you guys
Magic
use?
Mouse.
I got the Logitech Pro. Like that's my. I switched from the Magic
there you
Mouse.
Go.
Magic Mouse.
Once I switched to this, it was just the shit for me. I love it. I love this mouse.
This is like a mini version of Pete's.
Yeah.
This is like more mobile because I'm in like a hybrid kind of situation. So I work from home most days, but I go into the office. So I just need to be able to like bring it with me. Mm-hmm. And I did have that mouse that Pete has, but I'm also left-handed. So I have to be ambidextrous with my mouse. Uh-huh. And it's purely right hand for Pete's mouse. So trying to switch back and forth, it just wasn't working. So I downgraded to this little
nice.
Thing. It works good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's better mice than the Magic Mouse. I think it's just like whatever the first thing I got to is like what I'm used to, and I'm like it would take too long to figure anything else out. So I'm just stuck with it. But yeah, it works great for sure. I've got two of them, so I can like charge one while the other one's.
That's the part that I hate. That's the part that I hate when it just being a dead mouse.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
You have to flip it upside down. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, it was just like
I don't know. It makes no sense.
If you're rolling, if you're really going and grinding, and all of a sudden like you got to take a 20-minute break, and you're like, shit, man, like it's just gonna ruin my momentum. So that's the main reason I wanted to switch mouses because it just. But for me, this one, it took about a week to get used to. But then you can charge it from the front. So you just kind of still work and it's charging and all the little shortcuts on it too. So I loved it.
Yeah.
I still love it to this day.
I would say for sure if you were going to switch, Pete's mouse is probably the best if you're strictly right-handed. If you're ambidextrous like me, this one works really great. I would just say maybe it needs to be a little bit bigger because I have big hands and this is like a tiny little mouse. My hand does cramp, but yeah, that would be my next step from the Apple one is Pete's mouse because I did have it and it was really nice. Like the scroll wheel is the best part for me. Being able to like quickly scroll all the way down or like being able to like click it very precisely is really nice.
This episode brought to
what kind
you
of
by
keyboard?
Logitech.
What kind of keyboards are you guys running?
Just
you guys
regular Mac.
special? Okay, same as me.
Just the Mac mouse. Yeah.
Let me break
I
this.
wanted to get the bigger Mac mouse or Mac keyboard, but it's like $200. I'm like, I don't really just to have the number pad on the side. I'm like, I don't know about that. So I do like the fingerprint login. Oh yeah, slides all about the keyboard.
Besides the gamer,
These are custom keycaps that are Pokemon.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's a nerd. Hello, nerd.
Does it make nice like clicky noises when you type on it?
Oh, it's so nice. Listen.
Yeah.
I want to get one of those. Those are pretty cool.
That's
mouses.
cool.
I mean, keyboards. Like that's
my favorite.
The beer sticking in.
Is your dog back there?
Yeah, my Churro. His name is Churro.
That's dope. That's an awesome name. What kind of dog?
He's a Husky Shar-Pei. Come here, Bubba.
Okay. Churros.
There's times that he looks in his office when we're recording, and I forget that he's back there. And all of a sudden, he'll like stand up, and I'm like, "Holy shit! There's someone behind you!" I'm like, "Oh, never mind."
He's awesome. He's like my favorite dog of all time. He's such a good doggo. He's kind of a brat, and he's hella spoiled. Like this guy won't eat his kibble. Like I got him salmon kibble. He fucking won't eat that shit unless I put like stuff on it.
That's awesome. I get it.
Usually kicks it with us.
Yeah, our current dog is like our favorite dog.
Marketing officer.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's for sure. Like we're like this is our favorite dog by far. Like she's the best. She's a good hunting dog too, but she's a Griffon, so it's like a pointer bird dog type dog. So yeah.
So share this.
Being in Idaho,
look it up.
Being in Idaho, you do a lot of things outdoors, right?
Yeah. Hunting and fishing and all that kind of stuff. Idaho is like perfect for that.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, she's awesome. Since we moved, she unfortunately thinks our bed is like her bed now. So she has been sleeping in our bed every day for the last 2 weeks, and it's been pretty brutal. But
Do you keep her hair long?
awesome. It's wiry, so it's good for the outdoors. Like she's pretty freaking durable. So
Nice.
yeah, she's
Sly,
fun.
you look like her.
It's awesome.
Full of energy.
That's
When we're out,
like.
Oh yeah, me and the dog match, right?
Yeah, you get the beard.
Yeah.
How much
When
does she
we're out,
weigh?
she's like 50 something. Like at home, she's will not get off the couch. But if she can go outside and smell outside, it's a whole nother gear, and she can go 10 miles no problem, running the whole time.
Nice.
Hunting.
Oh, that's so dope.
Pheasant hunting and stuff, and so she'll find the bird. That's her job. Like she'll smell it, find it, tell me where it's at. So it's pretty cool experience.
That's sick, dude.
You do hunting?
Yeah,
So you do
yeah.
you
So
hunt
that's
hunting?
with her is pheasant hunting. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll
That's
do
dope.
deer hunting and stuff like that. But yeah, for the dog is just the birds.
Dude,
So,
that's
so
sweet.
talk to us about that experience or that that side of your life, man. Like fishing, hunting. Like how did you get into that?
Yeah, I mean, it was from moving out to Idaho. I was like, it's definitely
Embrace the
more
culture.
common out here. I grew up in Southern California, so it's like you there's I don't know the beach. There was no hunting or anything.
Yeah.
Fishing. I didn't know anyone that even went fishing, but we moved out here, and it's definitely a part of the culture. And I've always been interested in it. I would follow people online that would go bow hunting and stuff like that, and I was like, that's so cool. That's the manliest
That's
shit ever.
dope.
So moving out here is seeing that you have access everywhere, to do this kind of stuff.
Wow,
Is super
that's
cool.
dope.
I mean, even where we live now, there's public land, mountains right there. So I'll go out and just shoot my bow at a target, almost every day. I'll just go walk over there and do that. And even though I'm in a neighborhood, it's still got the public land hills up against the side. So it's I'm like, that's the dream for me,
What part
But yeah,
of
I
Idaho?
tried.
What's that?
What part of Idaho?
I was just saying. So you. Oh.
We just moved to Eagle, Idaho, so we're right outside Boise, so southwest.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But-
Sly.
Sorry, I was saying you do bow hunting or gun hunting.
So I do both, but I have not been successful with the bow because it's freaking hard. I'll just show you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've only tried it 3 times.
I've
Just
done archery.
Target practice,
Yeah.
and it's bow and archery.
Oh, that's
Shit,
sick, dude.
That is legit.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
legit,
just-
bro.
This thing is my baby for sure. I
How heavy
just
is
got
that?
arrows today, but it's not. Yeah, it's total weight, not that bad. But
I was going to say you make it look like it weighs nothing. You're just kind of
mean-
holding it.
The weight
Yeah,
is
it's
on
not
the
that
actual
heavy.
when you pull back, right? That's the weight. That's how
Yeah,
you,
this
the different ones.
draw weight
Yeah.
is
The draw weight, yeah.
the muscle portion. Yeah. So, but I love just being able to go shoot targets, and I've tried hunting. I've missed things, but I have not gotten anything with that bow. It is insanely hard to get near anything. To get that close to an animal is it's impossible. I think people think it's easy. How could you hunt a deer? I'm like, no, dude, it's freaking impossible. I don't even stand a chance. It's going to be a miracle when it does happen with that bow. Because it takes years of dedication just to even get close. So,
get
but
close
it's
and then-
a cool experience.
The scent too, right? If they smell you,
Yeah.
that
They could
can
They
throw 'em
book
off.
it.
It's just there's
From
definitely a lot of
far
factors.
away.
Yeah, very.
Oh,
very
wow.
far.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even know they were there by the time they smelled you, heard you. They're smart enough to just be in areas where the wind starts doing this kind of thing. So it's even when you get near them, they busted you. So, and that's
Wow.
Yeah, it's the more I learn, the more I'm like, this is freaking impossible. But it's the coolest experience. So I rifle hunt too, and that is hard, but it's at least
Easier.
achievable. So,
Nice.
What have you
but
hunted?
yeah, just shooting the bow. Deer, yeah. We have mule deer out
Whitetail?
here.
Oh, mule deer?
Mule deer are a little bit bigger, yeah. Similar though, yeah. Mule deer. Where we go up in northern Idaho, there is whitetail as well. So maybe
Gotcha.
eventually we'll get a whitetail. But
And you-
yeah, I'm
how
gonna
did you,
try elk this year with the bow. That's the goal. So I'm
Ooh.
gonna have to ramp up some
Shit.
training and like, yeah, you have to be like good hiking shape, which is harder than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Like just carrying weight on your back is brutal, man. So, but it's fun
How
stuff.
did you
like,
get into it and like build a community? Like when you moved out there, how did you find people?
Yeah, I mean, as far as hunting itself, like meeting people, like, it's slow going. Like I've definitely, like I'll go hunting with like my brother-in-law. I'll go, I'll go hunting with my wife, but we all kind of got into it at similar time.
Oh, dope.
I do have a buddy that I would go bird hunting with, and he has the same kind of dog as I do. So he like kind of showed me the ropes for that. And that's been super cool. But yeah, like hunting is tough, and especially if you don't have someone showing you. So it's been trial and error. I don't know if it was like 4 years before I even got a deer, So like how many miles I hiked every year before even standing a chance. And that's with a gun, So it's tough. And I've missed with the bow a couple of times already. So I need to, rein in the distance a little bit and practice and train and all that shit. But I got into it moving out here. And just because it was like, that was my obsession. Like I just wanted to design stuff in that realm. And so like, I just kept, I would get a client or I'll make something for myself. And then that would lead to a client, and then that would lead to another client. And so it's like, it's definitely a huge chunk of the work I do is in the outdoor space for sure.
That's dope, man.
It's awesome. Cause I mean, like I did work for this brand, Hoyt, that makes this bow. And I'm like, I love this bow. Like this, it's like, that's cool to do stuff for a company that I also personally really dig, Same with this, like just this piece alone, like there's a guy that makes these and he designed them and made them, and like I've done stuff for him and he's super cool. But like, I love that. Like every little thing has, its own like company and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
It's a cool industry.
For Idaho, is it lottery for your tags, or how does that work?
It can be depending on what. So they have controlled hunts that you would put in and see if you draw. But there is over the counter tags, so it's like for general season type stuff. So it's either or, and every unit, I don't know, there's 30 units that Idaho's broken up into or something like that. Yeah. And each unit is different. Some are capped, so they only have so many tags that they'll give out and that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's very, they have it all calculated. Like,
that's awesome.
People that don't know think like hunting is like terrible and killing animals, but it's like, it's actually what helps like, the population. Like, that's the conservation. Like the biggest contributor to conservation easily is hunting. Like that's all the money goes to that.
And you
because you're like
meat.
Yeah, we did it all ourselves, like on the kitchen counter, like butchered it, ground it, froze it. Yeah, it's cool. And the meat is like, I mean, I don't know if I'm biased, but I think it's super legit. I eat a lot of red meat and steak, and so like we got a mule deer in October, and like it's almost gone already because we've been just eating it, every day.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's
awesome, man.
A buddy of mine hunted whitetail, and he gave me some backstrap, and that was freaking tender and delicious. I'm like,
Good.
Holy shit, man! Like, I might go this year again. I'm like, I'll take 20 pounds of that backstrap if you get that. So it's freaking awesome.
He's like,
so
you got to hike with me.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's like crazy nutritious. It's like way higher protein. Obviously, there's no preservatives. It's all free range as it gets. My son likes it. He doesn't like steak, but he'll eat deer for some reason. So.
That's funny.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he sees you eating it, so he's like, "Hey, I got to do the thing that Dad's doing, right?"
Yeah. Sometimes he's like, "Daddy." Cool. Sometimes he's like, "Nah, yeah, whatever." He makes fun of me too.
Man, Dad, you whack! Get out of here, Dad.
He does. He's 7, but he definitely does, man. It's funny.
So to jump back into design, I'll hit you with a very deep question now that we're approached to your company. What do you want your work to say about you when people look back at your career?
Dang, that is deep.
Excuse me.
That's hard to say. I mean, I definitely think like, oh, you made like really cool quality work, and it was around things that you liked. It felt like it was you, like I do think a lot of the things that I make is like, you know, if it's my style, it's just like personally, it's just what I like. So it feels like me a little bit, you know. I don't know, but I don't know if that's an answer.
That's a good answer,
question.
bro.
Good answer.
It's great.
Good answer.
Dude, that's like the best answer you could give. Like, I did shit that I was having fun with. I did dope design. Shit that I wanted to do. So the cool thing about you is like you're doing work that you're having fun with. I haven't heard you saying like, oh, I did this shit, I wasn't really happy, blah, blah, blah. No, you're saying like I'm doing work that I love, stuff that I'm like really passionate about, and that your work, when you look at it, it's stuff that you love, and I can see it in there. You see the passion, and you're passionate about your work, and that's super dope. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to check myself because if something is just like there's something that you're like that is so dope, and then there's another company or the concept that we're going with is not like so dope, and I'm like, man, it's not that cool. But it's like me 6 years ago would have killed to work on that. Like I would have been like, I'll do it for free. I just want to make it. Like I would love the opportunity, and so it's like. Sometimes I have to check myself. It's like you should not be complaining about this shit. Like you're still getting to make fun stuff. Like it's a cool gig for sure.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to tell you, bro, is like you're not lucky, man. You've put in the hours to your craft, so you're not lucky that you're getting these clients. Like they're coming to you because you're good and you know what the fuck you're doing. So
Thanks,
I'm
man.
like, because your work is so inspiring and so amazing and so dope. Like when people have tell me, oh, you're so lucky to do what you like, you're doing art and you're doing this stuff, like you're so lucky. No, we dedicate ourselves to our crafts, and that's what you're doing, and it shows, and that's why people gravitate towards your work because it's fucking dope, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a good point for sure. Yeah, it definitely took some dedication to get here for sure. Even though it's stuff I was dedicated or something like you're passionate about. Like we are lucky that we get to choose what we're passionate about, and then pursue that. But yeah, it definitely took some work and some late nights and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about what you do? Now we're going to hit you with the hard question.
Dang. Yeah. What would be a misconception? I don't know. I mean, I know people just think that I draw all day, but I definitely, that is a portion of my day. So I don't, but what would be a misconception? Maybe early on there was some misconception because like I was doing, working in different industries and stuff like that. But right now I feel like for the most part, the people I encounter kind of get what I'm doing, because like it's easy to say like I design logos and t-shirt graphics. And you're like, I know what that is. So I get what you're doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's easier to like for them to grasp like, oh yeah, this thing on my shirt. Like I did you make the thing on your jacket?
Yeah. This one's for a client and they sent me some stuff. They're pretty awesome. But
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's
but you can be like, yeah, this is what I do. Right.
Yeah,
they can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, early on, it's like I work for like a marketing company or like and you're like, what do you do there? And I mean, like, I work on the computer, press buttons. But yes, it's easier now for sure.
I design shit to make people buy shit.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for like young designers or something thinking about switching to graphic design? Starting a career in this industry, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah. I definitely would say just like make the work that you want to be, hired for. Like however you got to figure out how to do that, whether it's for client work or you're doing it for yourself, like definitely like that someone's going to have to see what they want to know that they want you to do that for them. So that's, a big part of it. And it's hard now. Like, I'm sure AI will adjust, like it will change our industry in some way that I can't like predict that for you people, like I think for us that are more established, like AI can be like helpful for, ideation and stuff like that and speed you up. But for a new person, like you still want them to get those like foundational skills first. So it's like, I don't even know how to guide them in that direction because I'm like, I had to do a lot of stuff to do this job now. Obviously the world will look different by the time, you're doing that. I think about like my kid and, when he's working in, I don't know, 10 years or, his buddy's a little bit older and he thinks that, my job is pretty sweet. So, they'll ask me about that. And like, I'm sure it'll be a little bit different for you by the time you're actually starting, and I don't know how, like, obviously I don't think any of us really know how, but I'm sure it'll be a little different.
Have you like played with like Affinity, like other software programs, or do you use any like AI for anything, inspiration to mess around with?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely use ChatGPT for like copy ideas, taglines for sure.
Likewise, likewise, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of times it's shit ideas, but it's like it'll at least get me to the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I'm like, all Adobe and then Procreate.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we actually did an episode with Affinity, and it's definitely a contender. It has its bugs, but it was neat to see that Affinity is Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign smashed
in one.
And
that's kind of cool.
Instead of like exiting the software, literally it's a slider, and you take that slider, you're in Photoshop, and then you move it over, you're inside of InDesign, and then you move that over to Illustrator, well, their version of Illustrator. But like there was graphics that were rasterized, and we took them and switched it into Illustrator mode, and it was like a wireframe. And I'm like, holy shit! Like how that even happened? Like, I don't even know. I don't even understand the software that you developed to make that happen for an image. So Adobe definitely has competition. I mean, I love Adobe. Even though they're an evil corporation now, it's still how I make my livelihood. I can't hate on them too much. So. But
sure.
So how do you feel about being so talented in like illustration and typography? How do you feel about something like this AI artwork that's out there right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely find comfort that I do like I do a lot of work with typography and stuff like that. I think that is still a ways away for anything AI. I don't know, so maybe it's a buffer, but yeah, I mean, I use AI, so I don't know. I definitely use it. So, but I can see like it's going to change stuff. Whether
any of those image generated ones, just chat.
I'm just chat. Yeah,
you generate images on chat.
Yeah, you can. They look terrible, but you definitely can. It can do it. I don't know. What was the question?
Just how you feel about AI artwork that's out there.
Yeah. I guess overall, I feel like people who have a skill set and are established, it's going to make them better, and they'll earn more and get faster. And then I think that if you're entry level right now, it might be not as good. I don't know though. I'm not, I don't work with anyone, so I don't know what other people are experiencing. But I can see that starting to affect them if it gets better, which it will. Yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, it's definitely a crutch. A lot of people are using it, but you see it. You see the mistakes that AI pushes out, and then they're starting to hire people at our caliber to fix that AI slop. Like, hey, it needs to be tweaked, and hands have 8 fingers, and the typography is not there, or the color correction, like all that Photoshop work that needs to be done to fix their stuff. But then you also have people in leadership positions wasting their time trying to do prompts and render out these images, and then they don't know how to put the brand together, or they expect ChatGPT or Midjourney to put like a whole creative deck for them, and it doesn't do it quite exactly how they want it. So then they have to hire someone. And I'm like, now you're doing 2 jobs. You're doing a designer job and you're doing your own job. So you're not being effective for what you were actually hired for. Yeah. So why do that? Like hire a designer, spend the money, hire a freelancer, something, so then that way they get it done the right way, and you're not just fucking spinning your wheels thinking that you could handle, the entire creative brief by yourself when you should be doing CMO stuff or, whatever it is that your job is entitled for. So,
I think it will be like it would just be a part of every designer's job. Somehow it's going to just be, people are going to be using it. I think it'll be industry standard somehow down the road. Like I work with one client that's an agency, and they do like really dope stuff for like big time video games, like, you know, top tier stuff. And the designers there are also super talented, but then they will use AI to help get there. Like this can convey an idea to a client, and then they can refine. But ultimately, the end product is going to be built by someone with skill. But they definitely, it's like a sidekick. Like they're definitely using it. So I'm like, if they're doing it and they're producing shit that everyone's seeing, you know, with big time clients, like I'm sure, you know, I'm not at an agency right now, but I bet everyone's probably doing that. You know, they're probably utilizing it at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I use Midjourney and ChatGPT. You know, again, as a full-time freelancer, like that's my work bitch to see if my concept has legs. You know, to chat to create a copy and to help me, you know, with verbiage, and then Midjourney to see, hey, this is my idea. Let me push it out and see. It gathers those elements for me. So instead of me having to sketch it out or just do it on, you know, like gather all these assets from like Adobe Image. I just do it through Midjourney, and it's like, okay, yeah, my concept has legs. I could run with it, or that's a terrible fucking idea. I need to do something else and pick up another idea.
Yeah.
So that's what I use it for. It's kind of like my junior designer / copywriter to help me with that, especially by myself.
Exactly. No, I think that like the employers are looking for that now. Some employers are asking, like, are you using AI? How are you using it? Because they want to know. And I think that as designers, it's another tool for us. You know, it's just like going to, you know, search for stock images. If you can't find the proper stock, then just go to, you know, prompt whatever you want and create it and just use a portion of it. I don't agree that, like, you know, if you're a designer, that you're going to do something straight up AI just with one prompt and, oh, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to turn this in. But if you're going to go down the AI route and you're going to prompt, like you spend a couple hours prompting and changing it and fixing it and building something with it, yeah, that's cool. But again, it's just another tool that we could add to our, you know, to our pocket, and it's very useful. Like Pete said, I use it for my copy and if I, you know, to get a concept out. But we're going to see more of it. It's only going to get better, and I feel like they're going to ask more for it. But I don't know yet. We'll see. It's kind of like kind of weird.
I've been checking out this new program called Flora. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
So Flora is an AI program designed by creatives for creatives. So it's very interesting. You know, it's kind of top level to production kind of style of AI integration where you can like enter prompts and it'll pull from different AI, what do you call it? Like bots or whatever, you know, like Midjourney, ChatGPT 4, like you can import something in like a prompt into it and then it'll, you put your assets into it and it can come up with copy and then it can come up with a design and then how you're going to execute it. And I literally just learned about it this week and I'm going to start trying it out. But apparently Nike's integrating it into their workflow. I found out about it through Creative Boom. That's another like newsletter that I follow. I'm not sure if anybody has heard it. But yeah, I want to check it out. Flora. Definitely look into it.
I mean,
Flora.
Dristy, I mean, one of the companies that I do design for, Area 15 here in Las Vegas, I mean, this art piece right here is straight up all AI. One of the designers, I don't know which tool he used, but this was used. I mean, once you get in there, like you see the
imperfections.
That
sheen, the AI sheen.
The AI sheen. But, you know, we Photoshop, obviously, the shadows and everything else in there, but we have the look and feel, and this was used for New Year's, you know? So that was all over the property and being promoted on digital and everything. We had an entire master campaign for it just based off of AI, you know? So, and you do see the imperfections once you go in there. But I mean, hey, big companies are using it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to these guys where I shared with them the Geico commercials. The Geico commercials right now, they're using straight up AI. If you really look at the human beings, they're not humans. They're AI generated. The gecko is definitely 3D, but everybody else is just AI. And you're like, holy shit. Like it took me a minute to look at it and be like, oh fuck, these are not real people. I thought they were real actors. So yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It's definitely not going away, and clients are using it. Big companies are using it, but there's definitely our skill set is still very much used. You know, like what you do for your 9 to 5 for your living, it's still very much like you need that human touch. AI cannot replicate what you do.
Yeah.
You can do it to an extent, but it also, just like what I just showed you, you see that fakeness to it, and it's missing that human touch that you.
But that's where we
so,
come in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even if it gets so good that it could replicate it, like I think it takes someone who's experienced to even know what they're looking at to know that that's what needs to be replicated. Like, a client doesn't know why, most of them don't know why, like a logo is functionally really good, and whatever the details that actually make it super good.
Like in the end of the day, like designers, we can visualize, we could create concepts in our heads, and take our concepts and bring it to life. So even if we live in a future where we don't have to do any work, we still have to have that imagination. So we imagine stuff and then we bring it to life. So in the future, maybe 20 years or 10 years, we might not be doing all the work we do now, but you still have to have that visualization to be able to create concepts. Because a lot of people, the normies or muggles, they don't do that. They don't have that skill.
Muggles.
Yeah. Muggles.
Yeah,
Muggles.
muggles.
Muggles. Muggles is like big infamous.
Yeah,
Moguls.
Moguls.
Yeah, moguls, man.
Muggles.
So one thing that we like to do with all our guests is have our previous guest ask our now guest a question. So I know Sly has that queued up. Whenever you're ready, Sly.
Ready? And here we go.
So mine is kind of simple. Like, we all have our dream gigs and dream jobs. Like based on like your likes and everything. What is like your dream gig? Like, what is your dream project? What would you want to do design for, or like a dream project?
Okay, cool. So gig, I guess dream gig. Yeah, I mean, if I had to think about it, it'd probably be very similar to what I'm doing now. It's like I want to be able to make things that I think are cool. I want to work with clients that, are companies that I also like and I think is cool. And I would love to, be at home and be around my family, and, and make a shit ton of money would be super dope as well.
What is there a client or
a
name exactly that you're like, hey, I want to design some shit for like an X Games or, Meat Hunter or
Fox.
Fox, something like that, like what would that be? Like for me, I would love to create some kind of collateral or key art for like the Super Bowl or the World Series. Like that to me is my fucking cherry on top. So for you, is it a comic book? Is it a certain brand that you designed a badge for? Doing a military patch, or a hunting patch, like something like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that ever crossed your mind?
It's tough. I mean, earlier on in my career, I definitely would have been like, I want to do that, and that will be it. And then now I'm like, I know, like, name the thing. If I do it, it'll be cool. I'll be so stoked. And then like the next week I'll have just moved on. Like it'll be like, okay, now what's the next thing? So it's hard to say like, what's that epitome thing? Like, I think I'm always striving for certain clients that would be so fun to work on. There's outdoor brands that I haven't worked with that I like, and like that would be, I'll get stoked if I got to work. I'm like, yeah, awesome. And then eventually that'll just be normal. So it's like, I don't have a one. And if I did, it wouldn't last very long, because once you do it, it's early on when I haven't, like I said, early in my career where I haven't worked with any clients, I've been like, oh, this is the dream. It's not even attainable, but that's the dream. But yeah, even like country music artists, there's some that would be super cool. Even,
like which country artists?
See, that wouldn't even be like a number one thing, but I mean, there's just like tons of them that would just be fun, like I mean, this is like, I guess this would be like country. Like Post Malone is super cool. Like he's just obviously super relevant.
That was who I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That was the first person that came to mind.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
his stuff is also cool. Like it's not, it's got a little bit more of an artistic flair as far as like his merch and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. I wouldn't say that's like the end all dream. Yeah, I think the end all dream is like I would just be able to make a lot of money. I mean, whether it's through design or I don't even care. And that I don't have to worry about money, and then I get to just work on the projects that I think are fun.
Yeah.
That would be that's the
I
dream.
mean, you're talking about every
like,
designer's dream right there. Give me the shit
Yeah.
money, and I just do what I want.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't we
that
all
would
do
be
it?
sweet. Yeah, and then like I can take vacation when I want, but then I get to like find that fulfillment in making shit that I like making. But yeah, I don't know. Can't name a client. I can name a bunch of clients, but the one I don't know.
So this is
All right,
the
let's
part
flip
now
this on
where,
its head.
Yep. Go ahead, Sly.
Yeah, let's flip it on its head. You
Okay.
now have the chance to ask our next guest a question, any question, preferably related to design, but you tell us what would you like to ask the next person, and they will see this video.
Okay. If you had to design one type of thing only, and you had to just stop everything else, you don't have a choice. Like it sucks, like I like to make logos, I like to make badges, I like to make word marks, I like to draw. Like it would be hard to get rid of and just do one thing, monograms, whatever.
That's a good
like,
one.
What's the thing that you could do all day, every day, and you would be okay with sticking with that? Like, I can't. I need the diversity. It would be hard to pick that, but I'd be interested in it.
If I
That's
could
a
answer
great
that right
question.
now, it would be just drawing comic book characters. That would be
cool.
my shit, because I could go from Batman or the Flash to Venom to Spider-Man to Goku versus Batman. Like that would just be amazing. Just straight up, just inking, black and white, no color.
Yeah.
I'll hand that off to someone else, but just be able to sit there and just fucking draw a story of just comic books. That I don't think I would ever want to touch a logo or a branding kit ever again. If I could literally just be in my office, I smoke my bowl, I drink my shot of espresso, and just fucking get to work. That to me would be the one thing that I would choose for sure for me. Guys, do you guys have anything?
Sly. I do.
Go ahead, Martin. I'm still trying to.
So
narrow
for
mine
me,
down.
when I was in college, I had this teacher that was like, these guys knew him. What was his name? The art teacher for light drawing.
You know the
Which
guy.
one?
Come on, that guy.
Mr. Anderson, super
Mr.
inspiring
Anderson.
teacher,
Kevin Anderson.
super dope,
Kevin
Kevin Anderson. So it was live drawing, dude. So I don't know if you ever done like live drawing classes. Like you go in and somebody like just boom gets naked, and then you gotta draw.
He likes to draw penises. We're going back to this conversation.
Bro. Yeah, look at our first episode, bro. You'll see the first guy we had is African American. Like, goddamn. Anyways, what he said, Mr. Anderson said this: if you want to get really good at drawing, draw with pen. And I literally took it and I started drawing with pen. And I like to draw people. Back in the day, I don't draw people anymore, but I would just draw at work constantly with pen and just ink, no pencil, just straight up looking at my reference. And the cool thing that he would say is like, if you fuck up, you just go with it. And there's something about that when you draw with pen and like you can't make any mistakes. You make a mistake and you work with it and you make it something. And then when you do make a mistake and you manage to like make it something better, it just makes your drawing way better. So I think I could do that all day, just draw with ink.
So anatomy?
Okay, that's cool.
Just draw like people.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So anatomy.
So
like faces, hands,
so-
positions.
Yeah.
Okay.
dicks.
Dicks.
So, real quick slide while you're still thinking, we'll give you a funny
I know
story.
mine, but yeah, go ahead.
I'll give you a funny story, Durstie. We actually drew a dick in one of Martin's sketchbooks before he went on an interview, and he didn't know that. So when he was going through his sketchbook,
He's like, oh.
boom, here comes the veiny one, and just closes the sketchbook.
fuck.
That's sealed the deal. I bet they're like, yeah, this is the guy.
This is the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you got a job.
I think if I had to stick to one medium, I don't say medium, if I had to stick to one type of design, it would probably be like multi-page, long format, kind of like magazine or like.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I like the full kind of concept of that.
Are you saying that because
cool.
that's what you do now?
No,
Maybe.
I don't do much. I mean, I do it now, but I don't do as much as I would like to do. I would like to take more on of it.
Oh, okay. So Sly works for the newspaper. He's the creative director for the Review Journal, and
Nice.
that's the biggest news media here in town, or am I tripping?
Yeah, it's the biggest news media here in town, and I mean, I don't want to say on the West Coast, but you know, more so starting to be that way.
That's cool.
But don't quote me on that.
No, we are. It's gonna go viral now. We're gonna put it on the biggest.
That's going to be the one thing.
PRJ.
Most biggest review.
All right, sweet. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours. We're gonna wind this down. I know that you're an hour and ahead. But we've had a great conversation. Definitely would love to have you back on. You're a very rad dude.
For
if
sure.
you're ever in Las Vegas, we'd love to actually physically grab a drink with you if you're
sure.
at that time, or even water. That's fine with me. I like iced tea. But the floor is yours. What ending the podcast here, advice, want to do your plugins, anything, like the floor is open here for you. To the new designers listening,
This camera,
future
this
designers
camera,
listening,
this camera, this camera.
that camera. I'm sure you've seen hot ones. Your advice, or how you want to end your end quote here.
Yeah, I guess if it was advice, I think it's kind of like what we were talking about before. It's just like, if you are passionate about something a certain direction, I'd definitely, be willing to be dedicated and like put in the extra effort. I think the ones who succeed, and from the people that I've been around, are the ones that are doing more. And, it's not like, why are they so much more talented? It's like, they are talented, but they're also doing more than you. So they're, and they don't have to, like, they're already succeeding, but they still have to keep going and doing another thing on the side. And, okay, what else can we do? So I think it's a great career path if you're willing to like put in the work and you have a passion for it. If you think it's like, oh, it'd be cool because like, who doesn't want to draw instead of like go sit in an office job and do something that you might not think is fun. I think passion has got to be, like, I don't know, not to be cliche and say like it's a lifestyle, but I think the people that treat it that way seem to do really well. It's got to be a passion. You got to be willing to put in the extra time, to get better. And if you can like figure out a way, if freelancing is your goal, like obviously having a niche, can be helpful, but then, at the same time, like getting real world experience, like I think that's equally as important, and doing that ahead of freelancing is super important. So like, I can make a logo, but I can do other things. I can do packaging, I can do document stuff and all kinds of different stuff. But yeah, it is all, I think if you do that, if you get that experience ahead of time, you're devoted, like for sure it's a super, super rad like career path. I feel grateful that I get to do this stuff and get to, like I told you, like I'm stoked that I get to make this stuff and work with real cool people and work out of my home and be around my family. So I think it's super dope.
I think it's super dope too.
Thanks, man. Super inspiring, man.
Yeah, man. Just stick around after we end here, just so we wait for the podcast to fully upload. But Sly, take us out.
All right. Please, if you made it this far, drop us a like. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us 5 stars on Spotify. And drop a comment down below saying how awesome Dristy is. Dristy. Dristy. I'm sorry. I said Dristy. Dristy.
Thanks, guys.
Dristy.
Drop a comment. Drop a comment about Dristy and how awesome he is. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Again, everybody.
Stoked.